Hello and welcome to the third episode of Beat Stickman Infinity Clones Climbing Leaderboards. In the last episode, many questions were raised and I was able to find some answers. I took sort of a scientific approach. The title of this episode is a quote from a very famous show that I'm sure many of you saw. I will show you my progress on Leaderboard and share the discoveries I made. Alright, let's look at progress the same way we usually do. We're going to start with RD, raw dark matter, but it's only 5% of the total amount, though that's not something that we're gonna pay much attention to. We can go straight to leaderboards. First leaderboard we see is level leaderboard, and I'm number 4. I expected to be number 3, but strange things happened, in episode 4 I'm going to talk a lot about levels. In this episode it's more about kills, but I will touch on this a little bit. There's a big mystery of why I'm so low level. I really expected to be much higher than this with all those kills that I did. So let's look at them. The kills. The kills, you can see here I'm number 16 with 498. That's because I did the clock test that I promised. So when I started, I had 316 kills. So I now have 498 kills. And I'm gonna give you the results of that clock test later in the video. But it seems like all these kills didn't help me level up much. When we look at hats, I'm still going up. And I wanted to tell you that I noticed that when I automatically farm for debris, I get hats by accident. Sometimes they fall on the ground, but sometimes I kind of catch them up. That's why my number still is going up. And debris, we made it. We're now on number 1, and we have a nice buffer of about something like 90,000 if I'm not mistaken. And this is gonna continue to go up as I'm farming for ad coins. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the weapons. We're gonna go back to altcoins a little bit later. If you remember from the last episode, I was wondering what was the maximum number that the game could tolerate. I mentioned 179.76 DT in another game, and I wanted to see what this number represents. And in this game, if the number was the same before, it shows up INF. And I have answers for you today. So I'm going to show you a few slides. That's right, like a PowerPoint presentation. You see, I'm willing to go at any length to become number 1 in this game and provide you with information on how to do it. First slide we're gonna look at, by the way, I was joking, I only have 3 slides, okay? First slide we're gonna look at is the last number I saw on H-bomb before reaching INF. So you see 1767 DS. So remember the number I said, 179.76 DT. So this is 1700 DS's, which is equivalent of 1 DT. The two games have different notation system in the sense that AA starts at a different point in this game than the other game. AA, AB, etc. It's only made, of course, just to make it easier to understand the number instead of going to quadrillions and quintillions and etc. So I thought there's a strong chance that next upgrade I'm going to see INF. I did it, and that's what happened. I got INF. So this confirmed that the number I mentioned you is the maximum number this game can handle. Now we talk about DS and DTs, but what are really those numbers? What's the actual number they represent? I had to do research because I'm not a programmer. I looked it up, and here's a slide that will show you what INF represents. Evidently, anyone would assume INF means infinity. But INF in computing is a number larger than 1.796 to the power of 308. Remember what my 179.76 DT? You see how it matches, right? And that's the largest number that a computer can represent in 64 bits. So that's why this number is common. So the question you might ask is, why does it matter in this attempt to climb the leaderboards? Well, what matters most is the previous slide. You need to know the maximum number that the game can handle, whether it's in DS or DTs or whatever you like. The reason why for me INF mattered is I wanted to know, once I hit the maximum number in DPS, is INF actually infinity or just the computer telling me it reached its absolute maximum number? This of course begs a question, if I reach the maximum possible DPS and the computer cannot handle it, do I still do DPS? Is it programmed to automatically do 1.79 exponent 308 damage no matter what as soon as INF is achieved? Or does it just stop doing damage? Or does it crash? So that's why. And I kept the most important for last, the result of my clock testing. What I did is 4 1-hour sessions where I would click every single clock I would see. I noted down every clock I caught and every time there was a medic interrupting the clock. I wanted to do more, but I ended up doing only 4 hours. First of all, because I have no intention of publishing this in a scientific magazine. Okay, all I want is an estimate, and the numbers are consistent. I confirmed that each clock is really 6 kills, and for medic, if they appear, on average, they should appear after 3 kills. So I made a formula where it would give me 6 kills for a clock and minus 3 kills for a medic. So if you look here, I don't have a cursor, but I color coded everything. So in yellow, you can see how many kills every hours I got, and the grand total of kills are 165 kills in 4 hours. So that's 41 kills an hour, and if I need 20,000 kills to beat number 1, that is 500 hours. Remember in the previous video I was talking about maybe 100 hours? Well, that's much more than I thought. So if I run this 8 hours a day with a macro, it will take me 63 days in a row in my sleep to get to that number. My first reaction to this was ouch. But then I came to the realization that if I cannot find any better way, I have a way with the clocks in my back pocket to win. It might take a while, it might take 2, 3, 4 months, but I'm guaranteed to have enough kills to reach number 1 unless White Diamond comes back. Therefore, it's not that bad. I'm pretty sure there's probably a better way to do it. At least I found a way. So that's a start. I'm happy with that test, and what I'm going to have to do in the future is focus on levels. I already top 2 of the leaderboards. I have a way to top the 3rd one. But levels, and we'll talk about levels in episode 4, it's incredible how little I got after the clock test, and it doesn't seem like just killing clones with clocks gives you anything. It really looks like DPS gives you levels. What that means is what I'm going to have to do. In reality, this run is over, this prestige is over. I cannot get to a level high enough to be number 1. So I'm going to have to prestige. So I have 20,000 at coins, so I'm going to be able to use them for my new prestige. I'll prestige, and I'll run all sorts of tests to figure out how do I level up in the thousands. I have absolutely no clue how, and I think it's going to be challenging. And I'm happy that it's going to be challenging, because I didn't want this series to be something like 4, 5, 6 episodes and I'm done. This one will be a toughie. This concludes the 3rd episode of Beat Stickman Infinity Clones Climbing Leaderboards. If you enjoyed it, please hit thumbs up and leave a comment below. Also, if you would like to support this channel, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell to ensure you don't miss the future episodes. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you soon.